All right, let's dive right into today's explainer. We're kicking things off with an incredible story from our source material about a 24-year-old named Arjun. Now, we're meeting him at rock bottom. Picture this, a tiny, cramped room in a flooded city. It's been pouring for 3 days straight. Arjun's sitting on the floor, phone battery completely dead, just staring at a pile of unpaid bills. He had lost his job, his big business idea completely tanked, and his friends, yeah, they seem to have totally vanished. Every interview he goes to ends with that dreaded, "we'll let you know," and spoiler alert, they never do. The guy is just absolutely crushed. And sitting there in that dark room, Arjun whispers something to himself. He says, maybe I'm just not meant for success. Now, our source text points this out as literally the most dangerous sentence Arjun ever spoke. Think about it. It wasn't the zero balance in his bank account or getting fired that ruined him. It was this one single thought taking root. In the moment, those words probably felt small, almost like a sigh of relief, but they acted like a mental virus, completely shutting down his drive to keep going. So that brings us to section 1, the weight of failure. Let's unpack how this feeling of failure completely paralyzed him, honestly, way before he even realized he had thrown in the towel. The moment Arjun accepted this idea that he wasn't meant for success, boom, massive behavioral shift. He stopped setting his alarm for 5 a.m., he stopped working out, he stopped reading, and yeah, he completely stopped applying for new opportunities. He surrendered long before life actually beat him. He's just existing, wandering aimlessly around the city, until a massive downpour forces him to duck into this dusty, mostly empty old library. So he's inside this library, and he spots an old man sitting quietly in the corner. Arjun rebs a random book, just to look busy and pass the time, but he can't focus at all. Suddenly, the old man looks right at him and drops this striking observation. You aren't reading the book is reading you. Wow, right? The old man saw right through him. He realized that sure, Arjun's eyes were scanning the page, but his mind, completely trapped in his own victimhood. Moving on to section 2, the seed and the soil. Arjun starts venting, telling the old man how unfair life is, how he works so hard but just loses everything anyway. The old man listens, and then hits him with this incredible metaphor to completely reframe how we look at failure and success. He tells Arjun, imagine I have 2 identical seeds, one in each hand. They have the exact same DNA, the exact same potential, right? But if you plant one in rich, fertile soil and you toss the other one onto solid rock, they are going to have completely different fates. The first one thrives, the second one dies. And here's the kicker. The seed on the rock didn't die because it was inherently weak. It died because of its environment. So what does this all mean for us? Well, for human beings, our mindset is the soil we carry around inside us. Think about your own internal environment for a second. If your thoughts are poisoned by fear, doubt, and constant excuses, essentially solid rock, even the most amazing opportunities are going to wither and die. But if you cultivate a mindset rich with courage, discipline, and patience, then suddenly even the worst circumstances become fertile ground. Your internal environment literally dictates whether your potential lives or dies. Then, the old man pierces right through all of Arjun's excuses with one sharp question. When did you actually lose? Arjun naturally tries to point the finger at everything else. He says, I lost when I got fired. The old man says, no. Arjun tries again. I lost when my business went under, or when my friends bailed. And again, no. The old man completely tears down this idea that these external bad breaks were his actual defeats. Instead, he walks Arjun over to this dusty mirror on the wall, wipes it clean, and delivers a pretty harsh truth. He says, you lost the moment you decided your future would look exactly like your past. Looking in that mirror, Arjun finally sees it. He sees a guy who is just waiting around for permission. Permission to succeed, permission to believe in himself, permission to start over. And the brutal reality is, nobody is ever coming to give him that permission. The real loss happened entirely inside his own head. Which leads us to section 3, the daily discipline. Before they part ways, the old man hands Arjun a notebook with just one sentence inside. Your life changes the day your mindset refuses to negotiate with your excuses. Arjun asks, okay, how do I actually change my mindset? And the old man tells him, look, you don't do it in a day. You build it the way you build a mountain, literally one stone at a time. So the very next morning, Arjun wakes up in that same tiny flooded room, bank account still totally empty, but he starts building his mountain. He takes real practical action. Step 1, he's up at 5 a.m. Step 2, he exercises, even when he absolutely dreads it. Step 3, He reads a book instead of doom scrolling on his phone. Step 4, he learns new skills while everyone else is out looking for a shortcut. He makes a promise to himself, never miss 2 days in a row. Now, the old man did warn Arjun that he was going to fail again, and man, he was spot on. Even with all this amazing new discipline, Arjun applies for jobs and gets exactly 27 rejection emails. 27! Talk about testing your resolve, right? That old, familiar voice in his head definitely crept back in, tempting him to just throw in the towel, whispering, "See, nothing's changed. Why even bother?" But here is where you see the magic happen. Look at how his perspective has totally shifted. Under his old mindset, a single rejection letter would have completely derailed him. But with this new mindset he's building day by day, rejection didn't stop him, it trained him. He realized that failure only defines the people who stop moving. So instead of letting 27 no's destroy him, he used them to harden his armor. He just kept pushing forward. All right, section 4, the hidden price of success. Eventually, Arjun takes this really low-paying job, not for the money, but strictly to forge his discipline in the real world. And guess what? Within a few years, thanks to his absolute relentless consistency, he gets promoted. His income doubles, and then it doubles again. Out of nowhere, all his old friends pop back up, calling him lucky, but they were completely blind to the hidden price he paid. They never saw the mornings he desperately wanted to hit snooze. They didn't see him up late studying while they were all out partying. They didn't see the isolation, the crushing loneliness, or the unseen tears. Success always hides its price tag. And that brings us to section 5, mastering your own mind. A few years down the road, a completely transformed, successful Arjun goes back to that old library, hoping to thank the old man. But he finds out the man passed away 6 months earlier. The librarian, though, hands him a small envelope left specifically for him. Inside is a handwritten letter. The old man reveals something pretty beautiful. He was never trying to change Arjun's future. He was just trying to change how Arjun looked at it. He leaves him with 4 unbreakable final directives. Keep building, keep learning, keep serving, and never, ever negotiate with your excuses. He warns Arjun that money comes and goes and health fluctuates. But if you fiercely protect your mindset, no hardship can ever permanently defeat you. The letter also contains this absolute gem of wisdom. The greatest victory is not becoming richer than others. It is becoming wiser than your former self. That quote right there, it perfectly captures the heart of this entire explainer. The strongest person in any room is rarely the loudest guy. It's the person who has learned to master their own mind. Arjun finally understood that the world had never been his biggest obstacle. His own thinking was. As Arjun walked out of that library, the true mechanics of his transformation clicked into place. Just check out this chronological chain reaction. The exact moment his mindset shifted, his habits changed. Over time, those daily habits completely changed his actions. Those consistent actions built an entirely new character. And ultimately, that new character changed his destiny. Your biggest enemy is never failure itself. It's the toxic belief that failure is the end of the road. Remember, mountains aren't moved all at once. They are moved one stone at a time. So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative question. Every single morning, life places 2 voices in front of you. One voice whispers, just stay exactly